So my background is I'm a gynecologist by training. In terms of leadership, um, back at home, I work in our national hospital. It's called Kenyatta National Hospital. It's a referral hospital for Eastern Central Africa. I chair in this committee that is called Quality Assurance and Mental Appraisal. So what we do is we make sure that the department meets their objectives by the end of the year. And in other things other than that, I run a program for pregnant women. Since my hospital is a public institution, it's really busy. We don't have time to give women quality of care. My interest is in quality of care in obstetrics. So there's a program I run back at home in our hospital that is an education program. It teaches women how to labor. So we are pro-natural and we encourage women that they can deliver normal. We empower them and support them through their journey, both women and their families. So they attend these classes. We journey with them till they deliver their baby, and if they have any problems, they can call and we give them a talk over for the phone. How I choose to become a doctor is out of curiosity. I just I seem to like biology a lot, and sometimes would be dissecting animals, would have mice that we dissect, and found it very curious about life and that kind of thing. So I ventured into medicine, and then as we continued in undergraduate, obstetrics took my heart because I find it very joyful as opposed to many other specialties. So that's how I ended up doing obstetrics. So as I was doing that, I realized we don't have much data in sub-Saharan Africa. Most of the references we make is in the West that have done a lot of research. Our guidelines are really based on what researchers have been done in the West. So we mostly adapt. So this made me think, oh, why don't we have something local, something Saharan Africa? So this is when I started thinking about public health. And I have a mentor back at home who is very encouraging. He's the director of our programs and research department. And he encouraged me in that way. So he's very encouraging, and we are working on many projects together. We're doing a couple of researches together, including the one that was sponsored by ABC. So I would look back and say this is probably one person who inspired me in joining Global Health. The other one is my supervisor from graduate school, Professor Kiarie. So he supervised my work during my graduate years, and I enjoyed doing research. For us, is probably access to care, and the problem might be with the healthcare facilities and also with the client. I'll talk specifically about the field that I'm currently very active in. So our skilled birth delivery is at 47%. Yet we have about 92% of women who attend antenatal clinic. So we have a discrepancy that many women are coming to clinic, their antenatal. Many more choose not to deliver till birth. And so this is a challenge because we did a study, our government did a study on why are women choosing to deliver at home or under whatever conditions they choose. And some of the reasons were it's far to get to the hospital, and most labors they start at night. So they choose to just deliver at home. Others say they would rather deliver with the care of a skilled birth attendant because they feel like they get quality care. Which, if you look deeper at the quality they're talking about, is the traditional birth attendant would give them hot water to bathe. They'll talk them throughout their labor. They give them some good, tender, loving care, which which is what they're looking for. In a public institution, sometimes it's not easy when you're delivering, more than 50 moms every 24 hours. You cannot really give them that quality care they're looking for. So this is one of the challenges. And if they're delivering under unskilled care, it means our mortality rate for moms is quite high. So the Millennium Development Goals are over, and we were targeting to reach 147 maternal mortalities per 100,000 baht. We are 380. So we still have a gap. So ABC is a leadership fellowship. Why I chose to do ABC is because, like I mentioned, I chair in this committee, and I was put in chair because it's the doctor who has to chair this committee, regardless of whether you're qualified or you understand what quality is all about or what it entails. So as soon as I finished my master's, I took up this position without really knowing the small details that involve leadership. So when ABC advertised for this fellowship, I was very excited. I wanted to learn the hands-on skill of leadership. And if you look at their website, you'll actually see it's a deficiency that doctors have, and even nurses. We go through medical school and nobody really teaches you about leadership, and you're expected to have the skills in some way. So ABC helped me learn about leadership. Some of the things I apply, which I learned from my attachment side. An example is something called support supervision, where as a leader, you don't just sit in the office and like lead from your office. You actually go and see what is happening on the ground, and you support the people who are in your team. So this is something I implemented after we finished the ABC, and I'm getting to how I'm going to apply the skills I've learned, especially in research, is how can we improve the quality of care back at home. So you do a research, could be operational or just a whole project, interpret it, and then see how you can apply. We have an aspect of implementation science, which we do in ABC back in January, and it looks at the gap between knowledge and practice. Why are clinicians not doing what they know? First is because the course that was being offered is an interest of mine. I chose to do introduction to epidemiology, and my background is not strong in research. Like I mentioned, it's purely, I didn't know much about epidemiology, or I didn't get like a proper introduction. So when ABC advertised for this summer program, I was very excited. And now that we've come, Metro was one of our facilitators. It was very thorough. I liked the journal style of teaching, and we discuss in our class, and you discuss over an article, and it makes you have a bigger picture of what are the loopholes in research that you need to address. Other than that, I also participated in the clinical trials one. This one I was helped by Doug Weeb. He had just requested if I could join in because I had the time, which I'm very grateful about. So the clinical trials was also like an add-on to what I'm learning. So I could tie things together. How does epidemiology up with the clinical trial? So it's because it's a good course, and how it was described, the journal style, you're being taught by renowned lecturers.
And what were some of the most impactful parts of your time here? Like, tell me a little bit about the people that you've met, or the people that have helped mentor you or you've connected with while you're here, and how you're going to take that back home with you to Kenya.
Wow. That's a very heavy question.
Take it as piece, piece by piece.
All right. So I've met many people here who've had an impact, in how I look at things. I know in my mind when I was coming to UPenn, I thought this is just going to be an the academic, and the 2 week mentored course will just be all about the research that I had in mind. But instead, what I got was unexpected in a good way. So the hospitality, first of all, we were received very Megan and Andy have been really good in helping us around Philly and seeing the cultural side of Philly and also to network. So we've had like several dinners and several lunches with leaders who we can relate to in terms of them sharing their journey. For example, we had a lunch with Glenn, who has a global program here, global health program, and it was very interesting listening to some of the projects that UPenn is involved in Botswana, in Lagos, and the challenges that are there, things that we can relate to. And then we had a networking dinner again with the African leaders, which Andy and Megan really organized. And we got to see people who studied back at home in Africa, so they could relate very well with where we're coming from. And it was quite interesting to see how far they have progressed and what difference they are making in terms of global health. So this I really enjoyed. What surprised me is, we, back at home, this is my first time in the US. So I already had like a mind about what I expect to see because this is what you see on TV, the one story that people talk about. So when I came and I saw we have open fields, and farms, and places that look like Africa, I said, so we're not so different, It's just all about how we manage our resources. Like I've come here in this university. I've seen children's hospital. It's so well organized, and it's all about leadership. I'm happy, first of all, that ABC provided this opportunity. They announced it as a potential award. So, and I would encourage more fellows to apply for this course. It's quite enlightening. You get to learn a lot. It's not only academic. And then for ABC, if we could have even more fellows coming from UPenn, it would be great. And I wish, for more collaboration from